Hey guys, so only a few more weeks until Vanessa and I start our van life adventure in Europe. We'll be filming the whole process of purchasing camper van overseas and other good traveling stuff. So if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and click that subscribe button. Today I want to talk about the different places to cook a meal while living in a car. I know this doesn't apply to people who live in bigger vans because they have enough space inside their van to cook in, but it can be a bit of a challenge for some people who live in smaller vehicles like Vanessa and I did. You know, we have to spend time finding the right place so we don't get kicked out, or we have to worry about if the area have a lot of people walking around or not. And it gets even more difficult if it's cold outside or if it's raining or snowing. So it can be discouraging, and we do end up going out to eat because of it. But when we do cook, here are a few places and tips that we used when we lived in a 35 square feet Honda Element. Number one, parking lots. You have to be careful about this one, and it's usually not a good feeling because you always feel like you have to be on the lookout every minute. Vanessa and I got caught one time by a security guard. It was an empty parking lot of an unoccupied building. The parking lot was huge. We were the only ones there, so we thought it would be okay to cook our dinner there that night. What we didn't realize is they still have a security guard on duty. So he saw us, he walked up to us and realized what we were doing and told us we can't do this here and we have to leave. But we were already in the middle of cooking, so there's no way we could pack up the food and pack up everything and just go. So I asked him politely if he can just give us 30 minutes and we'll be gone, and we'll make sure we don't leave any trash behind. He wasn't very happy still, but you know, he let us finish cooking our meal anyway, so that was nice of him. And we also cooked in the back of a Walmart parking lot once, and that was fine because we were away from the main parking area. There weren't a lot of people walking by where we parked. But still, we felt like at any moment an employee will come up to us and have a little chat with us about how we can't cook here, blah blah blah. But overall, I would avoid parking lots if you can. You can get away with it if you use a smaller stove rather than a car camping 2-burner stove where you have to connect to a propane tank. Number two, public parks and rest stops are the best options. They usually have picnic tables for you, grills, and some even have a water source where you can get water from. You don't have to worry about, you know, any type of authority coming to have a little chat with you. You will, though, probably have some people staring at you and wondering what you're doing, but it's more out of curiosity, which is okay. It was super easy when we were in Australia because their public electric grills you can use for free. So we would grill a lot of sausages and vegetables. And then here in California, for some of you who have been following us, you know we like to cook at this specific park in Sunnyvale. It was quiet, isolated, and you know they have a picnic table there for us. It was the perfect spot to prepare our meals during weekdays. When we do go on road trips though, we would just look on Google Maps and locate whatever parks is available in that town. So it's pretty easy. But then you might wonder, what if it rains? Where do you cook then? Well, that is when our backpacking stove comes in handy. Obviously, we wouldn't be cooking anything fancy because of its size. The camping stove is like this big, so you can only fit a small pot on it. But you could still make, you know, some type of soup or make some type of instant noodles to fill your stomach. We have used our camping stove once to cook inside the car. I wouldn't recommend it due to safety reasons, but it works. So if you have to do it, just be careful. And then there are hostels. This doesn't work all the time depending how the hostel is set up or what country you're in. But again, when we were in Australia, we just walked into one of the hostel and used their kitchen. It was nice because they have all the cooking ware available to use. You don't have to bring anything in, and it was really convenient. Obviously, we didn't stay there, and because there are so many backpackers walking in and out of the hostel, there's no way the staff would know who is staying or not. We didn't do it all the time, maybe only once or twice. But if you have to do it, then I'd say go for it if you don't get caught. And a lot of times, if it's really cold or rainy outside, then you just don't feel like cooking, then we would just go out to eat. And to be honest, there are a lot of food options out there where you can make a really good meal without the need of a stove. You just gotta be creative. And lastly, this is probably one of Vanessa and I favorites, is ask one of our friends if we could use their kitchen or if they just want to have dinner together. Obviously, you would pay for groceries and offer to cook a meal for them at the same time. But, you guys get to spend some quality time together and just hang out for the night. And we really enjoy that. Our friends don't mind. That is definitely another option to consider if you want to save money at the same time. So, those are the places and tips that I have for you guys. Hopefully it helps. And as always, if you guys have any other questions, you know what to do. And I will see you guys next week.